Welcome, everybody. Do we have any special requests this morning from anybody? Nothing special? All right, let's begin in a seated position this morning. Sitting up nice and tall. And perhaps, whatever way you just crossed your legs, be aware of that, because it's probably the way you always cross them, and see if you can just switch it up. So either the opposite leg on top or in front. Closing the eyes. Draw the shoulders back so they're over the hips, and draw the ears back so they're over the shoulders. And without too much rigidity, try to relax the shoulders, the neck, the face. And just start to notice your breath. Noticing the temperature of the air in the space as you breathe in, and the difference in temperature as you breathe out. And really start to deepen the breath and draw it right down to the very lowest part of the lungs. The belly fills, ribs expand, collarbones lift. And then exhale slowly, starting at the top, the collarbones settle, the ribs then regather. Draw the navel back towards the spine and squeeze the stale air out of your lungs. And just allow the breath to flow now. Inhale into exhale, right back into the next inhale. Can you sit just a little straighter, a little taller? Crown of the head really extending and reaching upwards towards the ceiling. So take your left hand out to the side, away from you. Take your right arm out, turn the palm out, inhale, circle the right arm up towards the ceiling, and then lean to your left, walking those left fingers out to the left a bit. Start to bend that left elbow so you could relax the shoulder away from the ear, keeping that right buttock connected. Begin to really stretch out the right side. The right arm is straight. Try not to bend at the elbow and reach down. And then roll that right shoulder back. Maybe you can just look slightly out to the right, in front of the arm, not behind the arm. Press through that left hand. Now inhale, come all the way up. Turn the right palm out and exhale, circle the arm down. And let's inhale, left palm out, circle the arm up. And then lean to your right. Walk that right hand out to the right. Let the elbow bend and the shoulder relax. Keeping firm contact with that left buttock and your yoga mat, roll the left shoulder back and look out to the left, just in front of the arm. Try to keep your neck in line with your spine, so don't just let your head hang. Good, push through that right hand, inhale, come all the way up, turn the left palm out and exhale, left arm circles down. Now let's turn both palms out, inhale, both arms come up. Bring your palms together and bring your hands all the way down in front of your heart. And take a moment here. Check in. How are you feeling this morning? How are you feeling physically? Check in mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Determine exactly what you need from your practice this morning and go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. Try to phrase it in a positive way in your mind. Good, and then make your way into a table position. Come to stand on your hands and on your knees. Shoulders over wrists. Hips, sitting bones right over top of the knees. Tops of the feet are heavy, fingers gripping. Push the earth away. And then on an inhale, let the tailbone begin to lift as the chin lifts. Open the throat as you look up. As you exhale, draw the tail down as you tuck the chin, rounding out your back. Inhaling back into cow. Make that U shape with your spine. Exhale up into your cat, nice and slow. And just continue. Maybe you can close the eyes, moving with your breath. As slowly as your breath will let you go. Spread your fingers out as wide as you possibly can. Try to keep gripping with those fingers so that you're distributing the weight evenly across those palms. Keep your wrist crease parallel with the top edge of your yoga mat. Good, let's take one more inhale, coming up into that cow position. One last exhale, all the way up into your cat. And then as you come back to a neutral table pose, slide your knees or your hands a little further away from one another, just by an inch or two. Curl your toes under and take it up and back to your first downward facing dog. Turning your big toes in ever so slightly, just start to walk those heels up and down a few times. Nice and slow. Let your head hang and just be heavy. And the next time you press your right heel towards the earth, hold the stretch and breathe into it. And then begin to press the left heel down, bending the right knee a little more. Rise high up on your toes, straightening the legs. Lift the hips high, push the chest way, way back, and then start to lower both heels gently down. Inhale again, high up on the toes, hips lift up, chest presses way, way back, relax the head, and the heels lower slowly. This time, inhale high on the toes, look forward as you bend the knees, and walk your feet to the space in between your palms. Now come up halfway, hands on the shins, looking out in front of you. And then fold, chest to thighs, chin, nose, then forehead, draw in. Inhale, come up halfway and lengthen. And exhale, fold, hinging from your hips. One more time, leaning into the toes. Inhale, halfway up, long spine. Take a gentle grip on the back of those legs now, pulling yourself down. Try to keep some weight in the toes. Relax your head, let it hang. And breathe here. Good, as you release the grip that you have on the back of the legs, start to press through the feet, wait for your next inhale, and begin to circle the arms up, lift the chin, look up. Let your palms come together, exhale your hands through to your heart. Inhale, circle the arms up and look up. And then swan dive forward, soft bend to the knees, lead with the chest. Inhale, come up halfway and lengthen. As you exhale, plant your palms flat on the mat and step back to the top of a push-up. So our first plank pose. And if you feel as though you need a modification, you can always set the knees gently down. So make sure you're not putting too much strain to those wrists or shoulders. Listening to your body, slight tuck to the tail, lift through the low belly, and breathe. Fingers are gripping as you push the floor away from you through both your hands, and then inhale, look slightly forward. Exhale, start to lower your body down with control. Send the chin forward as you lift through the back of the head. Tops of the feet are heavy. Cobra Vujangasana. So as you pull your chest through those hands, try to really stretch those toes towards the wall behind you. Keep pressing down through those palms. Now let's inhale, come up just a little higher, and then exhale, let your forehead come down as you tuck your toes. Inhale, press back up to plank, top of a push-up, and lift the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Arda Utkatasana, breathe. Listen to the sound of the breath as it swirls there gently at the back of your throat. Try to make the inhale and the exhale the same length. Same volume of air goes out as what you just took in. Good. Inhale, rise high on the toes, soften the knees as you look forward and let your feet come forward as you exhale. Come up halfway with the inhalation, look out in front of you and fold over the legs as you exhale. Inhale, circle the arms up, lift the chin, look up, palms together, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle the arms up, look up. Soften the knees, swan dive forward, lead with the chest. Inhale, halfway up to lengthen. Plant your palms, step back to the top of a push-up. And again, we hold it. Tuck the tail, lift through the low belly, press through those palms. Now inhale, look slightly forward, and exhale, lowering shoulders and hips at the same time, elbows in, curl into your cobra. Make sure those fingers are just back behind the tops of the shoulders, hands on either side of the chest. Give a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Press a little heavier into the tops of your feet and inhale, come up just a bit higher. Exhale, lower slowly down as you tuck the toes. Inhale, press back up slowly and lift the hips to the sky, downward dog. And we breathe. And we check in. How do you feel? Draw the shoulders up and back, away from the ears. Keep pressing the backs of those knees gently open. On an inhale, let your right leg lift slowly up behind you. Flex the foot, spread the toes. Try to keep the head relaxed. Try to keep those hips lifting high. Take another inhale, lift the right leg even higher, and then exhale, lower the right foot next to the left, and inhale, lift the left leg up slowly. Push out through the heel and the ball of the foot. Press through those hands, push the floor away from you. Inhale the left leg even higher, and exhale, lower the left foot down. Inhale, lift the right leg up, and as you exhale, take a step forward with that right foot. And if it doesn't quite make it to your hands, grab that right ankle with the right hand and pull that foot right up. Good, start to wiggle that left foot back now as far as it'll go behind you. Adjust your feet to a hip distance stance. So open up the space between those feet to be at least 2 of your own fist distance wide. How low can you get your hips now? Try to get your heel all the way up in line with the heel of the hands, knee over ankle, looking slightly in front of you. Start to soften those hips towards the ground. And as you soften the hips down, pull the right hip back, draw the left hip forward. Keep breathing. Left hand comes in just a bit closer to that right foot. Stay on the fingerprint, shoulder over wrist. Right arm like a wing. Look out towards that right thumb. And inhale, start to lift that right arm up slowly. Turning your chest open to the right. Pull both shoulders down, away from the ears. Keep pressing your left leg as straight as you can. Keep gripping the earth with the fingerprints of that left hand. And inhale, lift just a bit higher. Exhale, and the right arm comes down. Moving that left hand back out to the left, we're gonna bend the left knee, push off the left foot, and lift the left leg high, and begin to fold over that right leg. So relax your head, just let it go. Look back to your left foot, flex it, spread the toes. Keeping the hips level, how high can you lift that left leg up? Beautiful. One more inhale, left leg comes up just a bit higher, and then take a step back with that left foot, plant both palms, and step back to your downward dog. take a moment here. Pushing the heels down, pushing the chest back. Paying close attention to the quality of your breath. And on an inhale, let your left leg float up. Big step forward with the left foot. Now walk your left foot towards your left hand. Start to wiggle that right foot back. Keep taking that right foot back because you're trying to get your hips to come down to the height of that bent left knee, if possible. Coming up to the fingerprints, lifting the chest away from that left thigh just a bit more. How low can you get your hips? Now pressing your right leg as straight as you can get it, pull the left hip back a little bit and shift that right hip just slightly forward. Very little weight is in those hands. Let the lower part of your body here do the majority of the work. Sliding your right hand now in just a little bit closer to the inner left foot. Take your left arm out like a wing. Turn your head, look at that thumb, and inhale, begin to lift the left arm slowly up. Turning your chest, open to the left, keep bending deeply into that left knee, pushing into the left big toe and inner left heel. See if you can inhale, reach just a little higher with those left fingers, and exhale, the left arm comes down. Move the right hand back out to the right a bit, bend your right knee, push off the right foot, and inhale, right leg lifts high, bow, chest to thigh, chin, nose, forehead, draw in. So it's not so important how high you can lift the right leg, it's important to keep the leg straight. So push out through the heel. So if you need a bent left leg, don't be afraid to bend it. Modifying as needed to find your edge, your place of comfortable discomfort in the posture. See if you can inhale that right leg now just a bit higher. Take a big step back with the right foot. Plant both palms. And then step back to your downward facing dog. And take a moment. Breathe deeply. Try to press those heels down so that all the weight isn't just in your toes and the balls of the feet. Try to settle some weight back towards those heels. They don't have to necessarily touch. That's not what's so important. But if those heels are more than 4 inches off the ground, you can step the feet in a little closer, or you can try bending the knees. See if you can push the chest back just a bit more as the heels settle. Now let's inhale, rise high up on the toes, soften the knees a bit more as you look forward, and let your feet come forward to your hands. Inhale, come up to your flat back, lean into the toes, and fold over the legs as you exhale. Hold here, breathe. Uttanasana, standing forward bent. Now let's walk the feet together so you can bring the big toes to touch. Maintain a little bit of space between the heels and start to bend the knees. Squeeze the knees together. Squeeze the thighs together. Sit your hips as low as you can get them. So maybe you can even get them down to the height of your bent knees. Keeping your chest where it is, start to extend your arms straight out in front of you as you look down to the ground. Pull your shoulders back away from your ears. Arda Utkatasana, our half chair. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, straighten the legs and start to fold over them. And breathe. Try to keep some weight in your toes, not just all of it back in the heels. Good, let's bend the knees once again. Squeeze the knees and the thighs together. This time, inhale, let your arms reach forward and keep going. Lift the arms up. Try not to unbend the knees too much. Now draw the tailbone slightly down, pull the low belly in. Can you look at the space in between your palms? Keep squeezing your knees together and keep squeezing your thighs together. Turning the pinky fingers in just slightly, draw the shoulders down. Now looking forward, maybe slightly down, find your drishti, your gazing point. Inhale, lift your heels up. Try to balance on the balls of the feet. Bend the knees a little deeper. Keep squeezing those legs together. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, lower your heels. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, look up. And then exhale, lean the upper body back, push your hips forward. Lift your heart up towards the ceiling above you. On your next inhale, come back up slowly, turn your palms out, and swan dive all the way down. Inhale, look forward to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to the top of a push-up. Breathing. Letting your right knee come down, bring it right underneath your right hip, and now plant your left foot directly behind your right foot. Turn that left big toe in just slightly. Now your right hand is going to come in to line up with the knee, but not any closer to the knee. Keep shoulder over wrist. Look at your right thumb and slowly reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. So keep gripping with those right fingers. Don't strain the wrist at all. Maybe your balance will allow you to look out to the left or even up to that thumb. And as you rotate your palm to face forward, start to take the arm over your ear, reaching across the room. Continue to spiral your chest, open to the left. Want more of a challenge? Right hand can begin to take more weight. Left leg can float up. Just a possibility, not a necessity. If you are lifting the left leg, flex the foot. Push out through the heel. Another deep breath comes in. As you exhale, slowly lower the left foot down, suction cup it. Inhale, left arm to the ceiling. Look down, lower the hand down. Widen your hands to shoulder distance. Step back to the top of a push-up. Set your left knee down now and plant your right foot directly behind the left. Big toe turning in, left hand comes in, lines up with the knee. So left hand, left knee, left ankle, right arch, all in a line. If you need the kickstand, left foot slides back a bit. Gaze at your left thumb. When you're ready, right arm reaches up. Start to stack those shoulders right over left. Turn your palm forward. Start to reach the arm over the ear, turning your pinky finger down slightly so there's a rotation right from the shoulder. Keep spiraling your chest, open to the right. Maybe you're staying here, maybe the ability is there, or you want to challenge yourself a bit more, leaning into that left hand, right leg lifts up and floats, level with the earth. If the right foot is lifted, flex it. Control your breathing. If you've lifted the right leg, nice and slow, set it down, grip with the sole of the foot. Let's inhale, right arm to the ceiling. Look down, lower the hand down. Come back to the top of a push-up as you widen your hands back to shoulder distance. Now look forward on the inhale. Lower with control on the exhale. Forehead down, untuck your toes. Clasp your hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers together. So turn your palms to face one another. Good. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to straighten your arms as best you can, but having your shoulder blades squeezing together is more important than a straight arm. Press down through the tops of the feet. Send your knuckles towards your heels. Inhale, send the chin forward and lift through the back of the head. Now try to lift the arms just an inch away from the buttocks and keep stretching your knuckles back behind you as you stretch your toes back behind you. Continue to breathe. If you have it in you to go a little further, the option is there to lift both legs up away from the ground. Make sure you can still breathe. Don't strain, don't take it past that point of comfortable discomfort. Last inhale, come up just a bit higher. Exhale, feet down, forehead down. Release the arms down. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. Turn your head to the right. Let your big toes come together and your heels fall apart. And just wiggle those hips a few times side to side. Good, bring your forehead to your yoga mat, turn your palms back down to the ground, and then slide your hands out about 6 inches or so away from you. Maybe they come off the edges of the mat. They don't have to come out too far. You really just want your hands a bit wider than your shoulders. Push into your palms, squeeze your ankles together, and now inhale, lift through the back of the head, lifting the nose, lifting the chin, coming up into a back bend. Push into your palms and push into the tops of the feet. And the more you push down through those points, the higher maybe that chest can lift away from the ground. So how are you feeling? Can you go a little further? Maybe you're lifting both legs and just pressing into the palms for a moment. If it's too much, the feet can stay down. Last place to take it if you want to is to lift both those hands away from the floor. Don't lift the arms up too high, not higher than the shoulders. Stretch your fingers back, stretch those toes back, squeeze between the shoulder blades. One last inhale, lift everything up, and then slowly lower, forehead down, feet down. Arms come in beside you, turn your palms to the ceiling, turn your head to the left. So turn your palms up, bring your arms right beside you. Just let the arms relax, palms up to the sky. Good, big toes touch, heels fall apart, wiggle those hips. And then relax the hips and breathe deeply. Good, bring your forehead to the floor, bring your arms, your hands right to either side of your chest. Nice and slow, just press yourself up to your hands and your knees. Bring your big toes together, sit your hips back towards your heels as far back as they'll go. Lower the chest, lower the forehead. If your forehead doesn't make it to the ground, support your head with your hands or your stacked fists. If your forehead touches the ground, you can try circling the arms all the way back alongside the legs, and the palms can face up, and really relax those shoulders now. Soften your face, relax your jaw. Just letting that back round out after the little series of back bends that we did. Good, reaching those hands forward. Crawl them forward as far as they'll go. Widen your hands to shoulder distance width. Pull yourself up to your hands and knees. Retuck the toes. Press it back to your downward dog. Hips high. Push the chest back. Press those heels down. Good, on an inhale, let your right leg lift up behind you, and as you exhale, take a big step forward with that right foot and begin to walk your hands around to the left, stopping in between the feet as you pigeon toe them, one leg's length apart. So open those feet up nice and wide, at least one of your own leg's length long. Now bring a bit of weight forward into your toes. Can your hips come forward in line with your ankles? Press down through all four corners of your feet. As you inhale, come up to your fingerprints, look out in front of you. As you exhale, begin to plant your palms at a shoulder distance width and walk your hands slowly back. So let the heels of the hands press. As you walk your hands back, maybe the elbows bend a little bit. Try to keep your elbows at a shoulder distance width as well. Using the strength of your arms to pull yourself through those legs. Imagine you could come right through them. Good, so hands shoulder distance, elbows shoulder distance. Relax your head, let it go. Breathe deeply through your nose. Try to press the backs of those knees ever so gently open without locking them out. Good, as you inhale, crawl those hands forward, come up to your fingerprints, look forward, exhale, walk back around to the top of your yoga mat, turn your right toes out, step your left foot forward, and fold over your legs. Try to let your head just hang heavy. Let gravity help you here, pulling you down. Keep the feet firm and rooted, but let the upper body relax. So preparing to come into a squat. So if you know that you need a lift underneath the heels, you can use your mat, roll it up as much as you need to. Sometimes it's almost all the way to get enough cushion because you're going to take your feet a little wider than your hips. Toes might point forward, toes might point out. What do you need to do to let your hips drop down in between those heels? Try to let your toes and your heels equally take weight. Good. Now, lift the chest away from the thighs. So take your feet wider, John, and you might want to roll up your mat, and you might need to almost roll it up completely. So roll it up tight so it's not going to depress too much. You're going to have a nice lift there. Beautiful. And then bring your heels onto that. Let your knees bend, so take your feet a little wider if you can. Good. Let your hips drop down as much as possible. That's awesome. Now bring the arms to the insides of the legs, press those legs open. Bring the palms together, press those palms firmly together, start to draw the heels of the hands towards the heart. Keep your fingers pointing forward to start. Now we're gonna squeeze between the shoulder blades, press the legs open, and then slowly just rotate the fingers so they're kind of pointing more up. But not necessarily straight up if your chest is kind of angled forward. Don't overdo it. Try to keep those kind of hands on that same diagonal that the torso is on. And then lifting through the crown, let the hips settle down between those heels. Take a few more breaths here. Good, keep your elbows connected to your legs as they are, and then just turn your palms open, straight out in front of you. Start to bring more weight into your tippy toes. Let your hips come up. Keep the arms and the legs connected. Let your palms press flat on the floor, shoulder distance apart. See if you can bring your knees a little higher up the backs of your arms. Now hug your elbows into shoulder distance. Lean some weight into your hands. So your toes get a little light. Maybe your heels lift and you're just on your toes. Maybe you're on one set of toes, you can lift the other foot up. And then switch it up. Maybe lower that foot down, lift the other foot up. Maybe you're just keeping both feet on the ground. So hips higher, John, if you can. Yeah, let your hands take your weight. Look forward about 18 inches in front of your fingers. Pull the belly in, squeeze. And then set those toes down, Reach back with one hand. Set your hips down. If you rolled up your mat, just slowly unroll it as you extend the legs out. So you might want a little lift underneath the edge of the seat. Maybe you're good as you are. I oftentimes like a little lift of a blanket. Pull the flesh out from underneath those sitting bones. Push out through the heels. Spread your toes wide. Shoulders back, ears back. Lift through the crown. Good. As you inhale, let your arms float up and look up slightly. And then exhale, reach across the room as you lean your heart towards your feet. Try to keep your arms right alongside your ears. Pull those toes back. Good. Let's inhale, come back up slowly. Pull the shoulders down. One more time. Inhale, reach up and extend. Exhale, lean forward, reach across the room, start to lower the arms. Let your palms face the ceiling, let your arms just relax here. Now draw your low belly in, drag your chest through the upper arms. And then start to relax your head down slowly. So it doesn't matter if you only come forward a couple inches, you're still maintaining that long spine, head just hangs. Find your edge. Slow the breath. Slow the thoughts. Turning your palms to face one another now. Take a grip on the side of the leg, ankle, or foot. Giving a little bit of a pull here. You're going to grip with your hands, drag your heart a little further forward, and then relax to that new edge. See if you can give a little squeeze between your shoulder blades. Pulling not just the big toes back, but the pinky toe edge of the foot as well. As you inhale, look forward. As you exhale, reach across the room, and now inhale all the way up, palms turn out, and circle the arms down. Remove any lift you may have underneath the seat. Heels at the top of your mat. Arms extending out in front of you. And then slowly begin to roll out onto your back, using the strength of your core to control your descent. As the upper back starts to come down on the shoulders, the arms can reach all the way back behind you. Point your toes forward, reach those fingers back. Take one more inhale, stretch it out even longer. Exhale, circle the arms down to your sides. Inhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Reach up for the knee with both hands. Flex both of your feet and begin to pull your right leg in towards the center of the right side of your chest. And then once you've pulled the leg in as much as you can, begin to resist the pull of the arms by pushing your knee into your palms at the same time. So a bit of a little tug and a push. Working equally through both. Bit of resistance. Press the back of your left leg down to the ground. On your next inhale, begin to lift yourself up slowly, bringing your forehead or your chin up towards that knee. Flare your elbows out to the sides. Keep pushing your knee into your hands, and now lift your left leg just an inch off the ground. Hug everything into the midline. Keep lifting your chest towards your thigh. Keep pushing your knee into your hands. Shoulders stay relaxed and down. Take another inhale, come up, up, up. As you exhale, lower your left leg, your back, and your head down. Transfer your hands to the back of your right leg and straighten it. Push your leg into your palms to start and try to get your leg as straight as it possibly can be. And then when you can't get it any straighter, pull it towards you. Keep pressing the back of that right knee open. Keep pressing that left leg down. So the arms are pulling in, the leg is pushing into the palms. Keep breathing. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, keep the leg there. Release your arms down beside you and press your palms to the earth. Point your right toes. Flex your right foot. Point and flex. Point and flex and hold it. Spread your toes. Press your palms down, elbows, shoulders. Press the back of the head down. Press down through that entire left leg. And imagine you can make a footprint on the ceiling with the sole of your right foot. One last inhale here. Exhale, lower your leg slowly down, pushing your heel forward as the leg lowers. When your heel touches, pause. Give that right leg a gentle shake. Walk your feet towards you. Plant your heels directly in front of those sitting bones. Feet are at a hip distance width. Big toes are ever so slightly turned in. How much can you walk your feet back? Can you have your ankles under your knees? Arms tight to your sides, bring them right in. Now press your low back down to the ground, tucking the tail, keep the head straight, inhale, lift the hips up, Setu Bandhasana, don't splay the knees. So imagine your yoga block was there in between your knees and you wanted to hold it in place. How high can you lift your hips? Push into your big toes and your inner heels, keeping your palms pressing down to the ground. Walk your hands in towards one another a bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now as you push your hips towards the ceiling, push your chest towards your chin. Breathe. Lots of weight in the shoulders, the back of the head. Beautiful. Inhale, rise high on the toes, send the arms out to a T, and as you exhale, lower one vertebra at a time down from upper back through mid back all the way to the low back. Let your heels come down. Walk your feet together. Turn your palms to face the ceiling, let the soles of the feet connect, and now let your knees just melt out to the sides. Supta Baddha Konasana. Breathe. Let gravity do the work for you. You just need to breathe deeply. In through the nose and out through the nose. Good. On your next inhale, let your knees slowly come up. Soles of the feet plant. Good. Straighten your legs, point your toes out in front of you, circle the arms back over your head, take a deep breath in, lengthen the body, exhale, arms down to the sides. Inhale, draw your left knee into your chest, reach up for the knee with the hands, pull the left leg in, and now flex your feet. Good. Once you've pulled the leg in as much as possible, start to resist the pull by pushing your knee into your hands at the same time. You might even find there's a bit of shaking that happens as you do this. Keep those feet flexed. Keep pressing that right leg down to the ground. On your next inhale, start to curl yourself up, bringing your forehead or chin up towards the knee. Flare the elbows. Keep pushing your knee into your hands to get the back to come up a little higher. And now float your right leg just off the ground. Shoulders stay relaxed and down, away from the ears. Breath is steady through the nose. Good. Inhale, see if you can pull yourself up, up, up. As you exhale, lower the right leg and your back and your head down. Take your grip to the back of your left leg, interlace the fingers, and slowly straighten the leg out. Push your leg into your hands to start to get the left leg as straight as possible. When you can't get it any straighter, start to pull it towards you. Feel the intensity of that stretch throughout the entire back of that left leg. Keep pulling that left leg in. Keep breathing into the tight places within the body, using your breath to relax, to soften, to melt. Take another deep breath in, draw the leg in a little tighter, keep the leg there, release your arms beside you, press your palms to the ground. Point your left toes now. Flex your foot. Point and flex. Point, flex, hold, press up and away through that heel and keep spreading those toes. Head is heavy, press it down. Shoulders, press them down. Arms, press them down. That entire right leg, press it downwards and push up through the sole of that left foot. Tiniest hint of a smile there at the corners of the mouth, breathing through the discomfort. You're almost there, hold it. Good, one last deep breath in, lengthen that leg, and then use your whole exhale to lower the leg all the way down next to the right. Relax it once the heel touches. Give the left leg a gentle shake. Walk your feet towards your hands, planting your heels just in front of your buttocks at a hip distance width. Tuck the tailbone, flattening the low back towards the floor. Now inhale, lift the hips, back up into bridge. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press the inner edges of the feet down. Press those hands, arms and shoulders down. Press down through the back of the head. This time you might be able to walk your hands a little closer to one another. Some of you might even be able to clasp the hands, climbing higher up onto those triceps and shoulders. But if interlacing your fingers causes your wrist area to really pull away from the ground, keep the palms pressing down instead. Push your chest towards your chin. Take one more inhale. Come high up on the toes. Arms to a T. Roll the back down slowly. Beautiful. Turn your palms down to the ground. Keeping your hands at shoulder height, draw your knees towards your chest. So look at your arms. Make sure that your hands are just a little lower than your shoulders so you can encourage your shoulders away from your ears. Flex the feet, spread the toes. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, begin to lower your legs to the right, hovering them off the ground as you turn your head to the left. Try to squeeze your knees together. Take another full inhale, and on your exhale, let your feet come down to the ground. Relax your legs. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. Soften your face. Relax your jaw. Breathe deeply and slowly through your nose. Shoulders are heavy, arms are heavy as you relax through the low back as much as possible. Try to maintain closed eyes so that you are focusing inwards rather than outwards. Turn your palms back down to the ground. Flex both of your feet, and as you inhale, come back through center, head and knees. Exhaling, legs to the left, hover them as you look to the right. So lift your legs off the ground. Don't let them touch. Squeeze your knees and your ankles together. Don't let your right shoulder lift either. So it doesn't matter how far over the legs get. Try to keep your upper back connected. Asking your core to do a bit of work for you here. Palms pressing, shoulders pressing. One more inhale. Exhale, relax the feet there. Turn your palms up and just breathe. Letting your chin roll over towards that right shoulder, letting your right ear turn down towards the ground as much as possible. And just breathe and relax along the entire length of your spine. Inhales flowing into exhales, flowing into inhales. So the breath is the constant of our practice. That's what we try to maintain, because the ability of our body will change from day to day, from class to class. So don't get too fixated on what you can always be doing physically. Try to just maintain the breath and try to lengthen it and deepen it over time, working to expand the capacity of your lungs. Let your palms press down to the ground, flexing both of your feet. Inhale, let your head and your legs come up, knees coming back into the chest. Good. Keeping your arms to a T, set your feet on the ground, keep your knees bent, walk your feet as wide as your mat is wide. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let both your knees melt to the right. Turn your head slowly to the left, rolling to the inner edge of your left foot and the outer edge of your right foot. Can you walk your left foot a little further out to the left, perhaps? Letting that left knee drop just a little closer. Breathing into belly, rib cage, right up to the collarbones. Breathing out, empty your lungs completely. Walking that left foot back into where it started, waiting for the in-breath to come. Head and knees come up slowly, and then change sides as you exhale. Legs to the left, head to the right. Pausing there just for a moment, and then see if you can walk your right foot out to the right just a little further. Letting that right knee melt down towards the ground. Breathing into the hips, breathing into the low back. Try to relax. Good. As the right foot walks back into where it started, on an in-breath, head and knees come up, walk the feet together. Draw your knees to your chest, reach up for the knees with the hands, rock from side to side. And as you roll to center, draw your forehead or your chin up towards the knees. So you can wrap your arms even more tightly around those legs. Squeeze the toes, feet, ankles, fingers, hands, and wrists. Squeeze your face, your scalp, and take one last in-breath here. Let's squeeze arms, legs, belly, back, neck, everything squeeze and release. If there's extra clothing that you would like to put on, now is the time. Socks, sweatshirt, you like a little pillow over the eyes to block out the light within your space. Once you have everything on that you need, extend your legs out and away so that your ankles are substantially wider than your hips are. Let your feet kind of just flop and fall out to the side so you're relaxed there. So if you're using a blanket, don't tuck it too tightly around the toes. Try to really let those toes relax. Now, the angle that the legs are on, can you do the same angle with the arms? Turning your palms to face the ceiling. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Tuck the chin towards the chest, just slightly. Create a bit of length there at the back of the neck. Rest the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind your top front teeth and allow the rest of that tongue to just sink away from the roof of the mouth towards the throat. Try to maintain stillness physically. And the stillness of the physical body helps to encourage stillness of the mind. Thoughts come and go with very little attachment. When you find yourself growing attached to one particular thought or idea for too long, very, very consciously let go of that thought. Just come back to your breath. Follow it. It comes in through the nose and goes out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Be very patient. No judgment. Try not to be frustrated by the constant movement of that mind. Just do your best as you take rest. Keeping the eyes just softly closed. Begin to breathe a bit deeper. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. A little bit more movement into the hands and the feet, and then up into the wrist and ankle area as well, letting your head turn very slowly from side to side. Noticing sensation. Roll the head to center. Start to slide your legs together as you stretch the arms all the way back and over the head. Take a deep breath in. Stretch, 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 and relax. And let the arms come down to your sides. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug them in. Rock side to side across your back. And when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, just roll over onto your right side and pause here in this fetal position. Taking a moment to thank yourself for this gift of yoga here at the start of your day. And then sending a silent thank you out to those who perhaps are joining you today. Those that might be practicing here with us, but those that may be practicing from home. Feel that energy from that community. And then pressing into your left palm, pressing down through your right arm, begin to slowly make your way up to a seated position that you can be comfortable in. Bring your palms together, your hands at your heart, and just bow your chin toward your chest. As the chin comes back up and you lengthen the spine once again, ending our practice today with the chanting of Om one time. Join me if you would like. Take an inhale. Hinging from the hips now, begin to lower your forehead towards the ground in front of you. Your hands can come down as a means of support. Take a moment here, sealing in this practice that you just finished, but also take a moment to let go of it. The divine light within me graciously acknowledges that same divine light within you. Namaste. Thank you for coming. Thanks for being here. Making the trek out on this cold morning. It's always good to have you guys in this space. So much appreciated.